Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? It's currently 7:14 a.m., April 14th. We're a day away from tax season. There's a nasty ass bug on the window. And look, the reason I got the shades on is because I have morning eyes right now. I have morning eyes right now. They're a bit puffy, you know what I'm saying? And maybe I'll rock a segment like this, but I'm just gonna cover them for now. So I apologize for how cool I look. Good morning. How's it going? We are in the midst of the beginning of summer. Now, it's starting to get hot outside, and I don't remember what a Texas summer is like. I don't know. I've been in California for a little too long. You know, I feel like I was a little blessed. I'm a little spoiled. I'm a spoiled rotten. Welcome to the Ajay Patel Show. My name is Ajay Patel, and we are on episode 98. 98. Very exciting stuff as we start sniffing that 100 mark. I actually recorded episode 100 already. It's in the bag. It's in the books. It's ready. It's on my phone. It needs to be airdropped. I recorded it with my sister. Yes, I recorded it with Reena Patel. And so with that coming out, hopefully, I can get some good editing on there. The audio wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. How are you doing? How's your mental status? Did you go to the gym today? Huh? Have you gotten your shit done today? Have you been complaining more than usual? Sometimes you got to catch yourself. Sometimes, I catch myself, where I'm just whining. But I'm just whining. I don't know if it's all going to work out. I don't know if I'm making enough money. I don't know. I'm just working so hard. Shut up. If you're a fella, shut your mouth, dog. And if you a lady, just go to your dude and just punch him one time. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have a dude, fuck it. Just punch some air. Listen to some T Swizzy. I'm not gonna lie. I listened to some of that Miley Cyrus concert thing on Disney Plus. I'm not gonna lie. But what I think is the best part about being in this country is that they know you can't do it. The best part about being in this country is not the stock market or, like why is Trump manipulating the price of oil and this and that. And, look at all the fast food and amazing cuisines we have here. But it's the fact that they know you cannot do it. And I think that's what's the best. Outside of Sprouts, I was walking home from the gym right now, and outside of Sprouts, there's all these plants. There's a blueberry plant, there's a peaches plant, there's a raspberry plant, there's an avocado plant. There's all these plants that you can start growing your own produce. Do you want oranges? Do you want lemons, limes? Huh? Maybe an apple tree. Huh? All of that stuff. You can buy these plants. You can buy these plants for $20. You can buy these plants for $20, take them home, plant them, and then you have apples for life. You have blueberries for life. You never have to spend another dollar on blueberries. What a genius thing. What a genius thing that we will sell you this. That we will sell you this blueberry plant so you don't have to go inside and buy your own blueberries. Now they know because, the average person, and I'm not going to lie, I'm in this boat. Ooh, the dreams that I had in California when I said, oh, you know what? We have a balcony. It's really good weather here. It's conducive to growing plants and all that stuff. I should develop a green thumb. I'm gonna get all these planters out on the balcony. So then, you can be gone for a little bit in California and plants will live. Whereas in Texas, they're probably going to burn to death. And I had all these dreams and aspirations. Ooh, I'll get this, mint plant, and I'll get this jalapeno plant. The main things that I want to grow are herbs, or all these herbs, right? All the stuff that you never really want to fill your fridge with because that shit's always going bad, right? Mint, maybe a little bit of what's the other thing that people use? Parsley, mint, cilantro. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. Right? The shit that you buy that comes in like a weird little plastic container now, or it comes on a bunch, and then you're like, oh, this shit's gonna go bad after I use it for one dish. Because our generation ain't cooking like that, right? My mom never wastes cilantro. Ooh, if it starts coming to the point where it gets a little brown, she said, all right, you know what? I'm going to blend all this shit up. And then, we just have cilantro for the next meal. I'll keep it in the freezer. Nothing's wrong with it. I'm trying to get this fan out of the frame here. All right, there we go. And that's the best part. That's the best part is that they sell you this dream, for $20. For $20, you could have blueberries for the rest of your life. And I'm pretty sure I haven't done it yet. So I'm still innocent, but people do buy this shit. people for sure buy this and take it home, try to plant it, try to maintain it a bit, and be like, you know what? Why should I spend $6.99 on blueberries? Or I mean, that's Whole Foods prices, but you know what I'm saying? Why should I spend 85 cents on blueberries when I can just buy a plant for $20 and have it for life? And that's this generation's thinking, right? We think that we can beat the system. And that's the biggest lie, is that we think we can beat the system. We think, okay, you know what? We're going to buy this plant that can grow peaches. And I'm never going to have to buy peaches again. And then sure enough, a couple months later, that plant is dead, cooked, absolutely burnt to a crisp while you were out in Phoenix, Arizona, enjoying a wedding, while you were dancing away. Ooh, hey, no, I don't want another shot. No, I'm good. No, tomorrow there's a pool party tomorrow. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, my peach plant that's back at home. Oh, I have no fucking clue how that's doing. And that's us. That's us. And I think that's the best part. That's the best part, is that these companies, whenever they have these data leaks or stuff like that, is that they know you can't do it like us. You can't do it like us. They don't care. They want to sell you the dream. And what better way of making some quick profit, right? The margins on that shit's probably amazing. The shit that you probably don't even know about plants. You know, one time I went down the whole TikTok, YouTube rabbit hole of like, how do I maintain this? Can I just raise this desk a little bit? Wow, look at that. The rabbit hole that I went down through all of that shit. Well, you're supposed to buy the plant, and then normally you're supposed to at least repot it into, you know, a bigger piece of land so the roots can actually get down, get to the ground, get the nutrients that they need. Or you're supposed to put it in a bigger planter with a lot of soil, water it on X occasion, make sure it gets X amount of sunlight, and then maybe after a year you start having some emergence of a lime or a lemon. And look, don't get me wrong, it's a very beautiful thing. You know, when you're walking across the street and you see this house with these lemons hanging on, and you're like, man, I should take a lemon. It's a beautiful thing, but don't lie to yourself. You can't do it. You can't do it. I feel like I'm about to pass out. It's a little bit hot. Okay, today what we're talking about is a little bit of two things, and we're going to keep it short because I actually want to drop this within the next 30 minutes. Is Kanye West and Bridesmen. That's right. We're keeping it kind of short. But starting with Kanye West. Now, for those that know me, and for those that don't know me, I'll go ahead and reiterate, is that I am a Kanye West fan. I have always been a Kanye West fan. I've only grown to appreciate his stuff a little bit more as time has progressed. I understand that comes with some character flaws or some communication, or, oh, he spews hatred, this and that. But I've never felt with Kanye that it was like, you know what, that's the worst thing ever. The one piece that I feel like, oh, you know, he's really pushing it is the swastika shirts. Where I'm just like, what are you doing, bro? Like, this is crazy. Like, you just can't do some of these things, right? You can't print a shirt that has swastikas on it. You can't print a shirt that has the N-word with a hard R. You can't print some of these shirts, right? You can't print, Burberry can't have kids in bondage videos or commercials. You can't do some of these things. And so there has been points, right, with Kanye West where I'm just like, God damn, that was a little too much. That's a little crazy. That's too much. But what I've felt like that has always gotten lost in translation with mainly Kanye, but this is kind of a broader theme, is just like intention of who you think this person is. This person selling swastika t-shirts, do you think that person actually is, you know, anti-Semitic? Do you think that person hates Jewish people? Or do you think with this guy, based on our years of knowledge of him, was someone said something to him and said, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't produce those songs. You can't say that on the radio. You can't say that in music. You will never sell out. You'll never do this. You'll never date a Kardashian. Your marriage won't work out, which, you can't have kids, all this stuff. And time again, over and over and over and over, has he always been the person that says, watch me. I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to do this shit anyways, whether you like it or not. And that's what I feel like has gotten lost in translation, is this idea of he's always been this person that's been a little bit on the radical side, right? He's always been this person that says these crazy things and maybe stirs up some headlines, and it's probably not healthy. But I've never felt like, oh, this person's spewing hate. This person's spewing hate, right? You get that idea from some of the Trump stuff where it's like, hey, bro, you're not realizing how this is like cascading down. You're not realizing that the shit you say goes to a supporter of yours and they take that tenfold, right? You say, oh, look at all these illegals crowding up our country. And then next thing you know, people that support you, right? Let's just call it a right-wing white person in the middle of Texas, sees someone of color, whether it's a Hispanic, Indian, black, whatever it is. And then they are automatically magnified to the situation. Oh my gosh, that person needs to go, right? There's hatred in them. Whereas you have somebody that supports Kanye West mainly because it's like, oh, this guy has kind of carried me throughout my life musically. I remembered listening to him when I was in college. I remember listening to him post college. I remember listening to him growing up when I had middle school basketball games. This guy has always been there for me musically. He's shaped a lot of things. He's shaped fashion for me. He shaped how I've talked. He shaped all these avenues of life. But nothing has ever been, oh yeah, because he doesn't like this race of people, I am also going to follow my guy into that battle. Now, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's a percentage out there, right? I'm sure there's a percentage out there of whenever he says something, people are like, oh, you know what? Because he said that, I think that too. But those are losers. Those are losers, and we're not talking to them. We're not talking in this theme with them. Now, the Kanye West thing. He's slowly having this reemergence, right? He's slowly having this reemergence, kind of what I would call the crazy years is when the divorce from Kim was happening, and then it was the whole what was he was popping pills for something because of the weight or this and that, and then obviously the anti-Semitic stuff, and then the swastika on T-shirts, and obviously as a fan, right? As a fan, you pick and choose your battles. You pick and choose your battles, and you get some distance from you get some distance when things are hot. You get some distance when things are hot, and then you come back. And then you come back when the person comes back and it's like, you know what? All right, let's see if we can launch this plane this time. Last time you had a lot of bumps. You kept taking turns unnecessarily. We had this ramp ready for you to go. All these people love you. They're ready for you to drop music. They're ready for you just be, what we think is you. And sometimes that's lost in translation, right? We think you are this person, and you are over here saying, don't pigeonhole me into that, and I'll be this other person. So he's having this reemergence. He drops this album recently called Bully, and I was gonna do a whole let's do an album review thing, and it was cool. It was cool. Like, remember, I have this whole stance of music of like, I don't think we'll ever love new music the way we love old music, but I thought it was all right. Was it a top Kanye project? No, it wasn't. And then Wireless Festival names him the headliner. Now, Wireless Festival, I guess, is just a music venue, concert, ACL, Coachella-like thing in the UK. And then it got canceled because the UK banned him from entering the country. Now, I have the BBC article up here. And also, did BBC not get in trouble at all for, just doctoring videos and publishing it? Like, I do want to revisit that, they literally posted a video of the president of the United States that was doctored. And then it was proven doctored, that they cleaned house from, all the executive seats and all that stuff. And they're just carrying on business as usual. And I get it. Like, oh, you know what? Well, they did what they had to do. What do you expect for them to happen now? And it's like, okay, yeah, but like, do you just kind of get away with sliding over like this because it was Trump, because so many people have this thing towards Trump where it's like, you know what, we can do whatever, if he can do that shit over there, why can't we do this over here? And my stance is just kind of like, okay, yeah, but why don't we all, why doesn't this all stop, right? Why doesn't he have to stop tweeting fake stuff about ending the war, and BBC has to start, posting real news or credible news? How is BBC not canceled? I get it, Kanye got canceled, but why isn't BBC canceled? Anyways, let's read this article from Liars Network. The summer's Wireless Festival has been canceled after headliner Kanye West was blocked from coming to the UK. The government refused permission for West, now known as Ye, to travel to the UK after backlash to his planned set at the London Festival this summer. For the last several years, West has caused outrage for a string of anti-Semitic, racist, and pro-Nazi comments. In a statement, Wireless Festival said it was canceled and refunds would be issued to all ticket holders. It added that multiple stakeholders had been consulted ahead of time booking West and no concerns were highlighted at the time. Now that's what's great. That's the golden part where it's like, hey, you booked him. You booked him in the first place. Between you booking him and him coming out and saying all this stuff was not a correlation. He said this stuff long before you booked him. And then you thought, hey, you know what? This guy's back. How can we sell out this festival in a heartbeat? How can we sell out this festival in a heartbeat? Let's get the guy that people of accordingly hate. Let's get this guy that people accordingly hate. That we think they all hate him, but we also think he's gonna sell out. So how does that? Both can be true. Both are not true. You thought he was going to sell out because it's Kanye West. This guy's pretty much our modern day Michael Jackson, right? For the hip hop rap community, he is probably the top. People talk about him or Jay at the top, or, obviously the Drakes, but it's like Kanye's a top 3 in argument. And he's going to sell out. There is no, you know what? Because people don't like him anymore, we probably shouldn't book him. You think that for Chance the Rapper. You think that for Chance the Rapper, where it's like, you know what? People don't really mess with his music anymore. Let's not book him. Why would you want to book an artist that you don't think is going to sell? It continued. Anti-Semitism in all its forms is abhorrent. And we recognize the real and personal impact these issues have had. As Ye said today, he acknowledges that words alone are not enough, and in spite of this, hopes to be given the opportunity to begin a conversation with the Jewish community in the UK. Now, I think it's some bullshit. I think it's some bullshit that if you get booked like this, you don't go back on the decision, especially if you do sell out. Right, I get it if it doesn't sell out, and then there's this wave of hatred afterwards, and people are rioting the streets, burning the city down. Then you're like, okay, you know what? Let's actually cancel this because this backfired. This backfired. We didn't think it would have this effect. Similar to when they booked Chris Brown for the Grammys performance to do the Michael Jackson tribute, and he prepares this entire amazing performance. And then probably a week before, they canceled him based on, obviously we don't want to be supporting domestic violence out on air. Don't fucking talk to them in the first place if you're going to do that, Like, that's some bullshit. I get it. People will have their stance on people in general. People will have their stance on people in general based on their history, based on who they are, their color, their skin, maybe their wealth status. I get it. But don't play with people, don't play with the person, let alone the wider group of people. Like, do you think them canceling Kanye West for Wireless Festival made more people happy or more people upset? For all the people that had probably bought tickets for Wireless Festival, like they were excited, they were going to go. Just last week, this is still from the article, and actually I have some insights on this. Just last week, he played 2 sold-out concerts in Los Angeles, telling the crowd at SoFi Stadium, "Tonight we're going to put all of this behind us. Ain't that right, LA?" West had said on Tuesday that he would be grateful to meet members of the Jewish community in UK in person to listen after controversy over booking. Yeah, that probably should have happened a little bit earlier in his, in the people's defense. But I also don't care. I don't care. I don't care if there's videos of him going to a synagogue or meeting people of the Jewish community. I don't care. All I care is the stuff that serves me. That might sound selfish, but it's true. I obviously care if you're like murdering people or if you're, pillaging through the community. But you're just saying wild shit that's never been different. All these artists say wild shit half the time. Sabrina Carpenter is under some nonsense right now because she I guess said something racist, or she just reacted to something weirdly, whatever it was. Artists are always going to go through this. Kanye is Kanye. Kanye will always be Kanye. And I think that the issue I have is like the reason I get so glued to this, and people, and I get a lot of shit for this. I get a lot of shit for this, where it's like, how can you support these bad people? How can you support these bad people? Jay-Z cheated on his wife. He's a bad person. Kanye West, he does this. He's a bad person. Chris Brown beat Rihanna. He's a bad person. How can you support these bad people? Drake, whatever it is, he's a bad person. And I've come to the conclusion is that people are quite delusional. People are quite delusional in their perception of themselves and their perception of the world. Is that this world is what it is to an extent. You're going to hopefully do enough good in your life, and there's going to be some moments that you hope never surface out into the public. But obviously, when you're on a pedestal like that, right? You're one of the most famous rapper producers in the world. All of your shit's going to be out there. All of your shit's going to be out there. All these people that love to tell me, oh, he's a bad person. He's a bad person. I was like, didn't you cheat on homeboy a couple years ago? Didn't you do this to this person a couple years ago? Didn't you also do this? But I don't care, right? I still have you as a friend. I still know all of this shit about you. You still know all this shit about me. But here we are. Here we are, because who the fuck do you think you're gonna get out here? What perfect person do you think you're gonna get out here with that has no marks or blemishes on their resume or as a person? Who do you think exists out here? What losers are you hanging out with? I don't want to hang out with them. I want someone that has a little bit of shit on them. I want someone that has a little bit of schmear. And look, you can tell too when you're out in public and you're at these social settings, whether you're at a bar, someone's birthday party, a wedding, whatever it is, you're meeting people, and you meet all these couples a lot of times. You know what? After you get married and shit, you just meet fucking married couples over and over again, and you meet a lot of time. Your wife has these friends, and you meet their husband, and you immediately know. You immediately know, probably most of the time, where it's just like, oh, okay, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. Oh, okay, this isn't gonna work, because there's like a rhythm, between just simple eye contact, where okay, you know what, this is good. This guy seems like he does maybe about 70% good, 30% whatever. 70% good, 30% probably he does drugs on the weekend. Okay, that whatever it is. Right. And it's like, I want my people with some blemishes. I want my people with some shit to them. I don't want some dark shit. Right. I don't want people that are, dating underage people or, beating their wives and shit. I don't want that around me. I have a very hard line against that, where I'm just like, you know what? That is where I draw this barrier. But if you got a little addiction to weed, maybe you do some blow on the weekends, maybe you're addicted to going to the strip club. I don't care. I don't care if you've done X, Y, and Z on this list of stuff. That people need to know where their line is. Where is your line of acceptable behavior? Because if you keep just pushing that line up and up and up and up, you're going to be hanging out with no one. And in this era of this is the Great Depression era. This is the era where people don't fucking talk to anyone. Because if you start talking to someone, what's going to come out? What's going to come out? Oh, yeah, I actually just bought a Tesla yesterday. Oh, my gosh, you support that Zionist? Oh, my gosh, you support Elon Musk? Isn't it enough that he has $1 trillion and you want to add to his bottom line? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? No, I bought this Tesla because it's literally $17K and it's faster than all of your cars, and this car drives itself. I'm not sleeping with Elon. I'm not sleeping with Elon. And the issue is, on top of all of this shit, is people won't say it themselves. People won't say it themselves, is they want you to get caught up in this shit. They want you to get caught up in this shit. Isn't it crazy, this country that's like dropping bombs on Iran right now? Like, I think that's pretty crazy. This country that's like bombing Iran right now. Like they're like hitting schools and hospitals. Like, but that country shouldn't be in bed with the United States. And you're like, yeah, I think it is pretty crazy that Israel has been bombing X, Y, and Z. And you're like, oh, we got him. We got him. We got him. We got him. Round him up. Round him up. He's an anti-Zionist. He hates Jews. He hates Jews. Get him. Get him. He's a horrible person. Like, bro, this isn't fun anymore. This shit hasn't become fun anymore. I'm not saying you need to support Kanye West. I'm not saying you need to support Chris Brown. Do your thing. Whatever you want, cool. But at a certain point, understand where your line is. Because that shit is ruining relationship. It's ruining this social fabric that we used to have. Where people used to just be out smoking a cigarette, having a beer, doing their thing. People used to socialize with one another. Be able to understand that people's views were a bit different, that the people in this upper echelon of celebrities and all that stuff had their flaws. You got the OGs like OJ, right? These celebrities had their flaws. Lamar Odom had a drug problem, and now he's back. And he's back on Earth. And where is your line? You are going to be left with no friends. You're going to be left with no bridesmaids, no groomsmen, no nothing, no family, anything. Some of y'all have ruined all your relationships over a Thanksgiving dinner. Talking about, oh, you voted for Trump once? Well, now how's he doing? Well, now I guess you like war, huh? Didn't realize you hate the stock market. Like, bro, I didn't think any of this was, like, this binary thinking is something that I always get so heated about. But where's your line? Where's your line? My line is I don't think there should be bridesmen. I don't think there should be bridesmen. Now, this is the first time I saw a bridesman. The first time I saw a bridesman is this episode 98 or 97? And the point is I don't want to go to war, right? They're increasing the draft age, and I don't want to go to war. But there are bridesmen out there. The first time I saw a bridesman was a group of high school girls. No, sorry, this one high school girl, she was getting married, and the dude that was on the cheerleading squad with this girl was a bridesman. And I didn't know the concept. I thought, okay, bridesmaids, you have nothing but girls. And groomsmen, you have nothing but dudes. Cool. That's just how it is. And I'm kind of an old school guy. And so I okay, that's what that is. That's what this is. Then as I started getting a bit older and it started becoming a little bit more popular, where you see them a little bit more frequently. And then you start reading the situation, right? Then you start seeing like, oh, okay, like that was cool. Oh, okay, that wasn't cool. Now, it's very understandable how bridesmen come to exist. And I'm focusing on bridesmen because I'm giving my boy Anurag some shit for an upcoming wedding that he's a bridesman at. And this is what I'm saying, is that maybe my line is at bridesman and he might want to be a bridesman. That doesn't mean I need to cancel him. That doesn't mean I need to start stoning him. Be like, okay, you know what? Because you're that, I'm never going to talk to you again. I have a friend right now that's dating a young gal. And I have a decision to make. Am I going to stand so hard in the ground and be like, fuck it, I'm not going to talk to this dude? Or am I going to be like, all right, this is my boy at the end of the day. I'm on board if he's on board. It's still unacceptable. I'm not saying she's like 15. But it's not far from it, if you know what I'm saying. But there's some points that you just have to draw some lines. And for the bridesman piece, coming back to my boy, it's very understandable how it happens, right? You go to college with all these people and you join all these dance teams, these fraternities, sororities. Maybe you're from this South Asian Hindu community, Telugu community, whatever it is. You join these pockets of people and you become friends with one another. And you start dating someone that's good friends with this other person. And now you guys are like super friends, right? You guys were already seeing each other at a certain clip. Now because your wife is also friends with this female that you were friends with, that you didn't sleep with, then you guys are now extra friends. So obviously, you spend all this time together. You're this certain person to this person. You become a bridesman naturally. I get it. It's weird. It's still weird to me. Because my thing is, I think I've been maybe an honorary bridesman at 2-3 weddings. 2-3 weddings where I've had a female friend of mine getting married, and I've been there through all the stuff, right? I've been there to help go pick up this, help bring boxes up. Maybe I'm helping with, I don't know, coordinating a dance, right? You're doing bridesmaids duties, but you have a penis. So it's like, all right, I'm just a helpful dude at the end of the day. That's I think that's the moral of my story, is that maybe you just need to be a helpful dude. There shouldn't be bridesmen. You should just be a helpful dude. And, like at a certain point, I was like, if I did get asked, like, do you say no? Right? That's the rude part. If you get asked and this person, puts you on this, what the fuck, a bird just flew into the window, bro. That must have been a bridesman bird. If you get asked, what do you say, right? It's rude if you say no, right? This person added you to this exclusive list of maybe 8 to 10 people of friends in their lives. So what do you say? And so then as I'm thinking about it deeper and deeper, I think there's more so. And look, don't get me wrong, right? Like, if you don't know the person, if you don't know the bride or any of her friends, and you see a bridesman, you know what you're thinking, right? Like, come on, let's just be real, right? You know what you're thinking. It's like, oh, okay, cool, like, cool, all right. Are they? Yeah, no, cool. He seems cool. He's dressed quite nicely. For the occasion. And then you maybe see him with like, maybe his wife is also a bridesmaid. And then it's like, oh, okay. I guess, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Maybe they were all friends in college, and you move on. Now, I've been a groomsman where the opposite side has had bridesmaids. Or, no, what the fuck am I saying? I have been part of a bridal party in which there were bridesmen. That was great English. And you get a feel. A couple times this happened where you get an idea where it's like, okay, this dude's cool. I don't think he means any foul play. He's not texting this girl, I love you, or anything. He's not texting the bride, I love you, on the side or anything like that. Like, this dude seems cool. And guys always have this thing towards male friends, right? We're getting kind of deep in the weeds here, so I'm just gonna kind of float along the topic and then come back up, where it's, can you have dude friends as a girl and vice versa? Can you have female friends as a guy? I think, of course, yes, but it's like friends. You're not constantly texting each other. You're not sending each other funny Instagram videos. You're not calling each other like that. You guys are friends. You show up to each other's birthday parties. You wish each other well. You check in on each other once in a while, and that's it. You're friends. And then, there's a line. There's a fine line. For guys, I think we are always very much more. This is the area that we are most sensitive in, because we know that a female will get picked 100 times over a dude. In most cases, right? A quality lady will always get picked 100 times over a quality dude, mainly just because that's just how beautiful women are. It just is what it is. I'm just talking truth here. That is our biggest sensitive area. Is that anytime that there is a dude encroaching on territory, we get very hyper vigilant about it. We're not a big fan of it. We don't want our lady having dude friends. And it might be the same the other way around, but I think it's just more exemplified on the dude side, because it's like, there's 100 dudes that like you. There's maybe 2%. Let me give myself a little bit more credit. Maybe there's 2% of girls, 2% of that pool of people in the same number that like me. So for every 100 dudes that are sliding into your DMs, 2 people are sliding into my DMs. So obviously, law of large numbers, you fear that. You fear that. You fear any number that gets close to your protected, to your lady. Now let's come back a little bit higher. I dated someone in college that had a male best friend. And when I met the dude, at first I was like, fuck, how do I get rid of this guy? And then it was just like, oh, okay, this dude's cool. You get a feel. Like I said, when you meet a dude, you lock eyes for a second and okay, this dude's cool. Okay, this dude's going to be a problem. Okay, I don't want to be around this person. Oh shit, you know what? I might have this extra drink with this person. Oh, he just bought that round of drinks. That's very nice of him. And you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked at how often that does not happen. And you get a feel for these people. So going back to this dude, perfectly fine dude. I said, all right, cool. Get over it, right? Move on with life. You can't stay stuck on this. Now, like I said, homeboy that's texting the bride. Oh, I love you and shit. Normally your spidey senses are correct. Is all I have to say. So I do think it just comes down to basic of like, I think the bridesmen concept is fine. And obviously I'm focusing on bridesmen here, but whatever, groom's lady is fine as long as you just haven't there's been no contact. Like the most you guys have done is hug for less than 2 seconds. That's it. There shouldn't be no crushes either way. No little peck on the cheek. No. And you get it. Oh, he's just he's trying to be controlling. Bro, I'm just telling you the truth. And one of these days, I just need y'all to just listen to I promise you, I'm just sharing the truth. The shit that I'm saying here is the shit that some dude wants to say to you too, but I'm just telling you the truth here. The concept of bridesmen is cool. I get it. Woohoo. Let's all be friends. Yeah. But it's just something fun to joke about. And I think it just comes down to who the actual person is, looking at the actual relationship. And where's your line? Where's your line? At the end of the day, that's all that matters is where is your line? 40 minutes on Kanye West and Bridesmen, eh? Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you this week. I'm going to post this immediately, so hopefully this gets out on time on Tuesday. I wish you guys nothing but the best. Make sure you finish your taxes, and looking forward to the upcoming NBA playoffs. Hopefully I can get Kunal busy a little bit. I'm trying to bring back this Kunal's Corner. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have it. Might as well just start recording something. Wish you guys nothing but the best. Keep your head up like your nose is bleeding. Make sure you go to the gym. Eat proper. And look, I'm trying to be healthy myself, so I'm only preaching to the choir. I had butter chicken and naan last night. I'll talk to you guys soon. See you guys next week, and goodbye. Woo!